Yeah. So let's hear with the ultimate ultra experience that each one of you have had, right? In the sense, um, do you think that you've done what your crazy part of the brain is saying? This is what I wanted to achieve. That's probably a part of the answer. But let's hear for each one of you. Probably will start with Asha and then alphabetical order. Ajit maybe. We'll start with Ajit. What is it that you've done and what triggered it? Let's start with that.
Okay. So when I uh, thought of means, of course, we used to do a lot of trekking even before. Most of the time, it was something to do with the forest, those kind of things, because that will be refreshing in mind. Then you can switch off your because when we go to deep forest, right, you will not get any signals and all. So basically, you are cut off from everything. So that also helps a lot to cut off completely from the normal duties, because we can in office also we can say that we are not available for next 5 days. So and what we used to take is something like a rice or pots, all these things, cook the rice in the forest, so like that. So those are the things we used to do, crazy, some crazy things. But say for example, wildest things, Shanas was also there in some of our trips, for example. So where, for example, there is no toilet and all, you can assume that what we'll do. So those are the something which was which was very good actually. But at the same time, we had a dream saying that we have to go to Everest base camp, at least to something little bit crazy than the normal thing. Many people warned us saying that it is slightly dangerous. It is not everybody cannot achieve kind of thing. But the different argument that we had was, so car accidents can happen, right, anytime. So that doesn't mean that we don't drive car. So we still drive, right? So this is compared to that one, that is slightly lesser dangerous. So, JK, to your question, why I was doing at least was to do a couple of things. One, uh, as I mentioned earlier, it is completely a cutoff. You will not be able to talk in mobile or anything like that. So that gives a lot of uh, uh, good break kind of a thing. Second, your health is automatically taken care, because when you sign up for something like this, right, you have to go through some training. So maybe we had to do a lot of training for that. Say, for example, Everest Base Camp, I did approximately 3 months training. So that will help you to maintain your health also automatically. So that pushes us to maintain that. Yeah, your health is also, you have to keep it good. Food habits, everything will be automatically taken care, kind of thing. So that is another thing. So another one is when you achieve this, right? So whether when you reach the top, when you reach EBC, the sense of satisfaction is very high. So you feel that you achieved something, kind of thing, which is there in your mind for a long time, uh, which that will help you to get a lot of satisfaction, kind of thing. Then another thing, you mean while going, you will get into a lot of difficult things. For example, oxygen levels are very low, or you may not be able to walk. Anything can happen in between, right? Of course, we had to or to some of our team members who are coming with us. For them also, something can happen. So these difficult situations, right, we will be able to handle. Say, for example, when we go to EBC, if something happened, there is no other way. You have to take the helicopter and go back. Nothing else. You can do anything. You can't do anything else. So this kind of situation actually in my journey also happened, actually something like that to my one of my colleagues. So these things will help us to handle how we can handle the difficult situations, kind of thing, and that will also help in our work also, because we all go through these kind of situation in work, actually much easier than this in work, because these are life threatening things, right? So that way, so those are all the things I feel have side benefits, kind of thing. But major thing for me is to ensure that my health is proper and that sense of satisfaction.
All right. So I think we'll come back to you, Ajit, and let's hear Asha's perspective on this. Asha, you've been doing a lot of treks. I guess you have a slightly different goal than Ajit, but let's hear from you.
So your question was, have I done the craziest thing I imagined that I want to do, right? That's
Let's
your question, right?
no, let's park that for a moment. We'll come back to it. That's more like a what next. Are you satisfied and sated in life? That we'll come to that later. But what triggered what what is the drive for you to do EBC?
Okay. So I I'm usually very hyper person, and the moment I became an empty nester, when my kids uh, sort of stepped into high school, they did not need my help as much as I needed. I didn't have to drive them around, whatever. Basically, 20, about 8 to 9 years ago, I had too much time at hand. So I started doing marathons and running for charities and stuff like that. So I've done a lot of. I don't like to do a full marathon. I did it once and I decided against it. It takes too much training. So I did not enjoy the process of all of it. I did it for a year. Whereas I enjoy doing half marathons and I love running for like 100 mile in a month, 75 mile in a month, whatever. For charities, I usually do run. So you pick your duration that you want to run, and you run for the month, and how much ever that uh, you set out to do, people will donate according to your, basically a bidding game. But I raise money, so I feel good. It's the way of volunteering. Um, and then COVID hit, and most of these runs were cancelled or they became virtual, and it was not very tangible to me. Then uh, also I lost some of my very close. I can't say they were friends, they were acquaintance and colleagues, but without knowing, they did affect my mental health, and I needed an out. So I only thing that was open was the woods. So I went back to the woods pretty much every week. I had no goals. I was just trying to be. Um, and then uh, I became part of a community. They are very inspiring and supporting and encouraging. And then I stepped into the world of hiking. And mostly to me, hiking is just about the trips that we have, the fun times we have, the challenges we share. If we make it, we make it. We don't make it, we don't make it. It's about the experience. I come back, I collect the pictures, I post them. And next year, Facebook reminds me, you got to go again. And I go again. So that's my story.
No, but why EBC, right? I mean, so EBC is a different animal of sorts, anyways. So and and um, and and did we at any point think about the summit or just say EBC?
So, in so many ways, EBC was a redemption trip for me. My first high altitude attempt was Kilimanjaro, and um I made it, but with extreme difficulty. It took me a month and a half to 2 months to recover back from it. Um, and I learned a ton from it, and I thought I wanted to put to use the things that I learned and check whether my understanding of my body, the circumstances, and my analytical skills and my ability as an engineer to fix the problems uh, is still there. I needed a validation, and EBC was that answer for me.
Okay.
Got it. Okay. So let's hear from Renu, right? Renu's got a different path, I guess.
I basically like challenging myself. I mean, I need either a mental challenge or a physical challenge. So when one is not there, I seek the. That's all. So that is how I started cycling when I went to Mandi. I had a lot of time and probably ironically, it was not very mentally challenging. So I had to seek out some physical challenge. And I started climbing mountains. I mean, I started cycling up all the nearby mountains and I started cycling higher and higher altitudes. I mean, I used to go solo. And then I thought maybe why don't I take the Manali to Leh trip? And the first time when I tried, I cycled up to Leh, but I didn't climb Kardungula. Second time when I went, I climbed Kardungula. And what I noticed is like even when I used to cycle around near the campus, I mean, the first time when I started cycling, I saw one climb which looked very high and I went back. And then the next day I thought, no, I should not. Like, let me go and see. Can I do it? And next time when I went, I just realized that it was just a mental block. There was nothing difficult physically to handle it. And that way I kept on pushing myself to higher and higher altitudes. And I realized, like, I mean, when I climbed Kardungala, I know that I climbed it with my mind, not with my body. Because I determined that I'm not going to step down from the cycle till I reach the peak. So we had a lunch break. That is the only time that I got down from the cycle. And that actually keeps you going. And it was a very slow climb, but then I made it. And that gives you, and then that changes a lot of things in your life later on. I mean, I didn't go there for changing, but then it teaches you a lot. It teaches you just don't give up. Just keep pushing yourself.
Great.
So that is it.
Yeah, Manali.
So
Yeah,
if
so
if
one
I
of the
summarize,
questions, yeah, okay.
one second. If I summarize across what each one of you said, right? It's escapism of some nature. Maybe a harsh word to use. But then it's also an outlet for each one of you in the sense that I had time or I wanted to do something which gave me that sense of satisfaction, right? So but in the end I think there is a life lesson that comes with it. And definitely, after Monali's question, I definitely want all of you to talk about training, because the last thing that I want anyone to take out of this is that, hey, one fine morning I decided I'm going to EBC and there you go, right? It is not. It's a ton of effort and ton of training. So definitely throw some light on how you prepare yourself mentally, physically, for the challenges that the body takes. Preparing your mind is an equally important game. But if I may ask one question, right? Especially for the EBC folks, the climb to the EBC, you start off as a team, but each one is doing their own journey, right? It is an individual pursuit. Isn't that right? Because you have to be fiercely focused on your goal and probably borderline selfish too. Isn't that the case, Ajit and Asha? What
Yes.
has been your experience?
Yes.
Okay.
That is correct. Hope you might have seen Everest movie. So, I don't know, if you have not seen, you should.
That's a tough one if you want to climb EBC.
Yeah.
That's a tough watch.
Yeah, but actually, that inspired me EBC, in fact, even though that is a sad story. So, but you can see in that movie also, because of one person's whatever aspiration or something. That is why the whole set of or gang has affected. and everybody died because of that incident, right? One person wanted to stay for some more time, which was dangerous because of that. So always EBC is slightly selfish also, slightly. Compared to the Everest, it may not be that much, but still. But at the same time, should I talk about training now, or you
No,
have?
later. Now we finish this.
Yeah. So on the training part, I mentioned, right? I did almost 3 months training. I was physically active even otherwise, but not that much like JK or Sasha and all. Very regular. I don't do something like Asha did marathon and all. I never did that. But at the same time, for this one, more than physical, of course, 3 months rigorous training is required physically. Means I go to gym every day morning. And evening I go in my flat, there is 18 floors. So I used to climb that 18 floors 6 times. So this I do every alternate days. So basically, at that time, I thought of asking Wahid also, can I climb Burj Khalifa? So because I am confident that I can climb, because I have done that climbing at least inside my flat community continuously. So that kind of a training maybe, and of course low oxygen. That is the most critical thing in Everest thing, right? Everest base camp. So which we cannot get. Some people, I didn't try it. Some people typically put a mask kind of thing or something like that and try to climb the steps and all. And some people go to the training center. There are some training centers. Of course, even in Trivandrum it is there. There are some training centers where they will keep the oxygen level low, and you have to walk there with the dumbbells and all. So that also good actually, but I didn't try it, because from Bangalore to go to the training center is most of you, I hope you might have heard about Bangalore traffic. So it is very horrible for us to go to that place and come back and all. So I didn't try that also. Then the major thing is your weight. You have to reduce your weight. I was heavy, so I reduced approximately 9 kg for this one before going for climb. But before all of these things, me and Asha connected. So apart from all of these things, your mental fitness is the major one. Right now, Renu was also touching on that, right? See, at any point in time, you have a feel that, oh, this I can't make it. Then you will not make it. So we should always think that, yeah, this I am going to do anyway at any cost. I'll go and come back. So that thought process should be there at any point in time. And never ever you should think, even our Sherpas who come with us, right? They always say never ever talk about negative things. Oh, this is so high, because when you land in the airport, right, and then look at that EBC, you will feel that, oh, this I think this is what we are thinking. But always our Sherpa used to say that no, never ever think that we are going to do it. So I think that physical and mental. Then third one is maybe kind of teamwork also, because how we used to walk is we were 6 of us. The slowest person always walk first. Slowest person. So never. Why we are doing that is otherwise, right? He or she may feel that, oh, I am so behind, so let me try to catch up. So that will not happen. So you have to, when you work as a team, right, you have to allow that slowest person to walk first. I think those things helped us a lot, in fact. So my view, so more than physical, of course, physical is, I'm not saying physical is not important. Of course, physical is important. More than that, like Renu mentioned, right, mental thing is the most critical thing, most critical part. And never ever think that, oh, I am old or I can't do nothing like that.
Yeah, I think I have I personally have experienced this, right? I would think mind over body. We often think that this is the limit for our body, which actually is not true. It can do a lot more. It is often we ourselves saying, hey, you know what? Let me go back, or let me stop running, let me walk a little bit, right?
Yeah.
So I subscribe a lot to a coach called Steve Magnus. One thing that stuck with me about what Steve has told, it is about doing the boring thing consistently, again and again.
Yeah.
I would say that all three of us, ultra athletes probably agree to this, right? It is about stepping out of the door and doing that same thing again and again, and finding a way to come to peace with it, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely.
Yeah, Monali, I think you had a question. We forgot now.
No, I didn't
Sorry.
forget. Just that, just that a part of that was asked by you subsequently. But my question was more about, so when you decided to do all these things, one part of the question was already asked by JK, wherein it was about the solo, how you do the solo versus the group, right? In terms of you actually, it becomes solo at some point of time. But my question was slightly earlier than that, when you start your training and you decide to do all these things. How do you decide which are the activities you're going to do solo, which are the things you're going to do group? And obviously, it may not be the same for each of you. So, how did you decide what part of your journey are you definitely doing solo? What part of it are you definitely doing in a group? And what part of it you're open to do either? And why?
Should we answer your question, Santosh, or should we answer Monali's question?
Both.
Renu, you want to go?
You go ahead. I'll.
Okay. So, your training and your question around training, JK, did you? Is this specifically for somebody who really want to do EBC, or is it like a why EBC kind of general knowledge question? Training
No.
specificity.
I don't think, throw some light in terms of the training that you did, right? Training is just not about the workouts that you did. It also, as Ajit said, he shared 9 kilos.
Right.
There is a nutrition component.
Gotcha.
There is a sleep component.
So,
changing your routine, all of that good stuff.
So to me, EBC was not a goal, right? I couldn't do EBC if I was not trekking last 8 years. I couldn't do EBC if I did not fail at, I felt I was not prepared. I did summit, but at Kilimanjaro, I struggled. I was one of the weaklings. I went to Cusco for Machu Picchu and I couldn't breathe well. So I had a journey of figuring out what is required for the success of this attempt. And this was not planned. Life brought it along. And I came to a juncture after 4 or 5 treks that, okay, now maybe I can attempt this. Because I've never, my biggest, anytime anybody say EBC, it's about 12 days. And I had never done that long of a trek. And like I said, I did not enjoy a full marathon because of its longevity, how long it takes. Like after 18 miles, I couldn't run. So I know I cannot sustain beyond a certain length. That is my personal challenge. So to segue into Monali's question is that every person's solo challenge is different. Identifying that is the first step. Then you can remedy it. So you don't know where you fail until you fail. And I might fail at a certain juncture that is different than somebody else. So take it back home, work with yourself, and push to the limit where you can say, and these are all like JK, you were saying, almost all of them are mental challenges. Because once you command your body, I've seen it has not failed me. So what a lot of times when I felt that I'm overwhelmed, I cannot do, I had to ask myself, what are you feeling? What is your problem? What I had to treat me like my kids. And I asked, why? What is your problem? And I could feel that my heart was palpitating a lot. So what I did, honestly, again, this is a solo journey, in this sense, in the training sense. I took myself to the treadmill and I pushed myself beyond 180, and I said, so what? It doesn't break. It can work at 180. So if your heartbeat races, panic sets in for me. Identifying that was important. And then I put myself into a panic zone. And then when you come out of it, nothing will happen to you. That is reassurance to you. And a lot of times when you do it in a controlled environment rather than in a mountain side where you are not. I used to go to the same mountain to train. So I know every little pebble on that. And I push to the extreme limit. Now I only know, and I only have my goal to overcome. There is no other unknown. And once I overcome that, it's easier for me. So that's I find my own challenges where I find it difficult to circumvent. That's my solo thing. And what I do combined is I have trouble um, sharing the room with people. I have trouble when the group dynamics, like Ajit was saying, there are people who think negative and it's not anybody's fault. That's what that comes to their mind and they share it because they find solace in sharing. But you have to be uh, okay with somebody saying it and not feel frustrated by that dynamics. So that's something I trained with. I went to a 23-25 mile trek, and in this people were constantly speaking negativity. I put myself through that, and I told myself, no matter what, it's okay, they're sharing. It's not a place to judge. If you can help them, help them. If you cannot help them, at the very least, let that not affect you. That amount of selfishness I don't feel guilty about doing. And what other thing I would do in common is encourage we were a group of 14. I encouraged every single one of them to come to that particular place where I train, because it's only 25 minutes a drive from my home. And we would train together. Why? I would like to see your ugly side before I set out on this very uh, important mission. Yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah, that's one of the things which was on my mind, because you are going to see very, very different facets of the people you're going to be, doing the whole that time period of whatever 10-15 days. So a lot of there could be clashes and so much of
There were,
negativity and
because
toxicity.
we are all driven people, right? So very strong personalities, a lot of D's.
Right.
So it happens, and you should expect it to happen.
Yeah, and everybody's come through a grind. Everybody has got their own reasons and their own fight and their own grind and toughness. And yeah, thanks for that reply.
Okay, so how I used, I think I trained for almost 1 year before the first time I went to LA. And there used to be one very steep climb near our institute, like in 3 kilometers, it rises up to 350 meters. And that was a killing one. That was a killer climb. Even people who drive vehicles, they're typically scared of that climb. And I used to climb it back to back. And because that is the only way by which you can train your mind to face it. Like, it is difficult. It is extremely challenging. There is not even a single place where it is a constant climb from bottom to top. And cycling it up was quite difficult. And I used to cycle it early in the morning, late in the night when it is absolutely dark. And when you cycle in dark, it is even more challenging because at least when there is light, you know that, okay, I have reached here, I'm almost to the end. But when you're cycling in dark, there are absolutely no cues. You have just the cycle lamp, which will show you the road, and you don't see anything around. So that is how I trained so that I can keep up with it. And then I used to go for other long climbs also. So that way the mind will get trained in not giving up because, and okay, and other thing is like when I was training, I used to listen to music because at least that will give you a break. You need something. But
Yeah.
when we were actually, I mean, cycling up till Leh, the first instruction that we got was you don't put anything, even if it is I mean, you get those headphones which don't go into the ear canal, right? Bone conduction. So I used to use
Yeah.
a bone conduction earphone, but they said no bone conduction earphone also, nothing, because you have to be that vigilant. If some rock is falling, you have to hear it. So that entire Leh journey was without anything to break it. And that also actually I had gone in a group, but then I always trained solo because I prefer going alone. And in that also, because our expedition leader actually gave us the freedom to go ahead. I mean, we didn't have to stick together as a group. So that way it was fine. But then, okay, the funny thing was that I was the eldest person in that group and the only female in the group. So the first time when I went, I was
Same.
45 years and the next time 46 years. And then the thing is, they judge you, okay? The rest were all kids, maybe from 25 to 35 years old. And they think that, okay, you can't do anything. And one guy even was asking, do you read Bhagavatam, Ramayana, etc.? I said, no, I don't. I mean, that's a type of attitude. And then within 2 days, all those anyway changed because I was training in the mountains and they were training in the plains. It always makes a big difference. So then I was the one to finish both the times. And the second time, there was an Israeli guy who was a really good cyclist, but then he used to ride very fast. And climbing up Kardungala fast is not at all a good idea. So he
Yeah.
had to
Yeah.
stop 3 kilometers before the summit and had to push because you have to go really slow so that you get acclimatized to that low oxygen.
That was my
So,
problem with Kilimanjaro.
yeah,
Height and speed don't go well.
yeah, it doesn't. You have to be really slow.
Sorry.
And I had to be with a group only. Last year I had gone for Brahmatal one winter trek. That is the first time I had that group experience. And in a trek, you have to be with the group. You cannot just run away. So that was the first time I experienced being in a group. And that was a totally different type of experience.
So
So,
are these treks multi-treks for you, Renu? Sorry. I'm just curious about the bike.
I didn't get the
Multi-day trek?
question.
Are your treks,
Yes,
are
yes.
your biking treks multi-day treks?
Yes. I mean, those treks were 10 days.
Nice.
It takes 10 days to cycle from Manali to Kardungala.
Sorry for being so ignorant.
Now tell something about the problems you faced after coming back and the rehabilitation, something the after things that you did.
You want to go, Ajit?
Yeah. So before that, one more topic. Let me try on that along with the group, right? See, not part of our group, but we always accompanied by another 3 people who are from California. He was that Iron Man, means basically I was talking to Asha also that. So JK, you are familiar with that, right? So he completed Ironman thing, and of course he's massively fit, nothing compared with us. So, and he was going just like a rocket. So when Renu mentioned about this, I was thinking actually he couldn't complete. He used to take helicopter and he came back because some of the treks, right, especially in this area, this speed will not help you. You have to go slow sometimes. So there's one thing. Sibi, about your question. So after coming back, actually it was not because you will get when you reach there, till then you have a lot of issues. Because a lot of things, say for example, even entire water is ice kind of thing, right? So you can imagine what will be the situation. So but, temperature was minus 37 when I reached EPC, and you cannot drink water. Means everything means, even if you try to get hot water, it will become frozen within an hour max. So these were some of the challenges. So all the problems were while climbing. But while coming back, it was easy. SUB means basically your attitude is coming down, right? So it was very easy. And fortunately, I think Asha, I don't know, you had some frozen bite and kind of thing, right? But not that much, right? But because of Kalapathar, but I didn't went Kalapathar. So in that way, frozen bite was not there for me. But while climbing back, because of the peak, right? There will be, of course, a lot of strain and all, but it was okay. I never faced major issues, kind of thing. Then restarting everything back is the problem. So getting into exercise routine back, all these things, because you feel that you are
That's true.
something, then you tend to take some rest for more days than required, actually. So that was the only struggle I had.
Asha, you also said about something with Kilimanjaro, problems you faced or something.
So I think generally speaking, EBC was rather as expected. I won't say easy, but I was a novice when I attempted Kilimanjaro. So I faced more issues at that time. Issues originally because I couldn't, I don't perform well if I cannot rest well. I couldn't sleep at high altitude well. So without sleeping for 7 days continuous trekking, that to high altitude was not easy for me. Another thing I learned was my body doesn't process food that well when I am at high altitude. Uh, and I mean, high altitude being lack of oxygen basically um, kind of hinders with pretty much all bodily functions. So oxygen digestion is a problem. Your cognitive skills is a problem. You get into this numbness or a brain haze kind of a sorts. But if you're aware, you can actually combat this. So which I did not know originally. So these are the issues on top of the mountain. Um, like every little thing matters. How much water you drink, how much food you eat, because you eat too little, you don't have the energy. You eat a tad bit more, you cannot digest, and your body is lethargic and you can't move. Right? And you drink a little bit less, then you get cramps. You drink a little bit too much, you're taking too many pee breaks. This is just a lot of tweaking that happens along the way. These are the challenges. You cannot sleep well, and they wake you up at different time. You don't have a schedule of per se, they wake you up at different times for different treks on different days, so you don't ever set into a certain clock. The body doesn't know when to rest, when to wake up. And like the Kalapathar, one of the summit day hikes, you start at 3 a.m. And you had hit the bed probably 5 p.m. Body is not used to these things, and you have to force yourself to rest something, right? So those are pretty much quite a bit of challenges, and if you just deal with it, you will not make it. You have to literally enjoy. So those are on top of mountain issues. And in between all this, you have to be civil, which was a big challenge for me. You have to eat in communal mess. You have to wait for your communal bathroom. Um, you know, uh, you have to sleep with so much noise around you. Um, oh, symphony of snoring is going on. Because you don't sleep in airtight places, right? You don't have any comfort that you're used to, your body is used to rather. So, it's very easy to be irritated and not enjoy the process. So you have to stay grounded and talk to yourself and figure out what is important during the journey. These are these are issues that happens on your way on the mountain. When you come back, well, I get usually really bad swelling on my leg. This is from not resting enough and keep on walking. So every day morning, sometimes the shoe doesn't fit. So this is a problem. And when I came back, I had to do several recovery walks so that you can actually keep the lymphatic system moving. Also, in general, I'm not a foodie, so I don't, I lose appetite terribly badly. So you have to keep yourself, eat the right kind of thing, right? It's easy to hog on carbs because it gives you that comfort per se, but to actually feed yourself to recover is a disciplined thing. Um, and third one, Ajit actually touched upon, because you had a goal and you were training towards a goal. Now that the goal is achieved, one, there is a sense of celebration. Two, there is a sense of letting go. And to get back on the horse from that letting go took me a month. Because if you don't, then you feel horrible, like you cannot sleep well. You can move as as you used to. On top of everything, if you don't move or you don't sleep, you cannot think well. Your daily functions go haywire. You're slow in doing things, remembering things. All over discipline falls wayside. So your quality of life goes down, and then you don't feel good about yourself. So kicking myself, morning when I have to wake up, sometimes I'm like, you did it all this, why do you have to wake up? So I read this somewhere, like you were saying, JK, you just count backwards from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and just get up. Don't think, today is needed. How's the weather? Is it going to be hard to run outside? No, you decided yesterday, you promised yourself that you are going to run, just go run. Or whatever it is that you decided that yesterday you will do, promise that. Because if you do not respect yourself, the chances are the next person standing to you, which is your kids, they will see that in you, in shades of you. And they are your mirror. Look at them. If they respect you, then you have treated yourself respectfully. That's what I believe. So yeah, gain that respect back is another challenge when I come back.
Yeah. So Renu, your recovery regime probably different because the muscle groups at work are vastly different when you're riding a bike, right?
Yeah.
So
So bike, I didn't have much of a problem in recovery both the times because this process is very slow. So it was not, I mean, only thing is that my protein requirement became very high. So I had to
Yeah.
break my vegetarian diet and I had to eat fish in between. So once that requirement got over, the need also went away. But that I had to do. And other than that, I mean, it took a lot. I mean, I got sunburned very badly because it is very difficult to take care of
Oh, I
it. So
forgot that.
that
Yeah, I
also
forgot
took a
that. Thank you.
lot of time to recover from that. But then when I went trekking last year, I went for a winter trek. Then it took, I mean, my knees went bad when I came back. So that took a lot of time to recover. And again, as both of them mentioned, see, after Kadungla, then I thought that I put my target too low. Because then once you achieve it, it's as if, okay, fine, now what? So then you have to recalibrate, put a new threshold or a new goal, and then you have to again start. Otherwise, it is as if you get back to, okay, now what sort of thing.
That was actually one of my questions, which you have already answered. I was thinking of asking this. Great. Yeah.
So there's that Asha touched upon the fact that you have an impact on people around you, right? Could be your family, could be your friends, could be your colleagues at work, etc. And there is also a certain responsibility that you inherit as an achiever. Not many people do EBC. It's risky. It's crazy. It requires commitment. It requires tremendous amount of discipline, etc. What do you think is the responsibility and how does it manifest in your day-to-day life now? How has that changed, right? I have done EBC, I have done the Khadungla challenge, whatever, right? How is it playing out for you? Let's start with Renu for once.
Yeah, that's good.
Actually, no impact, to be honest, because it is done and forgotten. That's it. That was a challenge for me. I did it. And probably maybe it's not a good thing to say, but honestly, I don't care much about what others think. So it doesn't matter to me.
That's awesome. Great attitude.
Okay.
I'm thinking it does matter to me, because anything I do, I'm a collection of all my experiences. Doesn't matter where, right? Home, work, outside, doesn't matter. And whatever I learn on the mountains have come in so much handy in my life elsewhere. Basically, you are with yourself quite a long time. You analyze who you are, and you have so much ability to not to fix to face a problem. I work in operations. Just to give you, I work on trading floor. So it used to be very reactive, if you will. My problem solving approach used to be pretty reactive. Because I couldn't think very calmly when issue hits. This has changed me. Solo running has changed me. Swimming has changed me more than anything else, because you get that. I love snorkeling because when I'm in the water, under the water, it reflects back on you. Sunlight reflects back on me. I might sound a little crazy, but when I'm solo and um, now I can focus and narrow in the middle of that chaos and think through in a way to resolve issues. If my daughter is having uh, like a if she's calling in the middle of a issue, I don't have to get into that chaos of emotions along with her. I can actually hear her, analyze her, be there as her rock. Whereas before, I get swept away with her emotions. Uh, um, uh, so many ways. My friend was in a car accident. I was able to think through and do the right things. If I, my old self wouldn't have done it. So I think I've become less reactive. I've become more, um, and that fear of what if something goes wrong has gone away for me. Um, it's like, yeah, it's another experience. Whatever it is, some are pleasant, some are unpleasant. Um, whatever it might be, it's here now. Deal with it. It will pass. That attitude came from the mountains and the waters.
Santosh, if you look at it from my experience, when one issue, what I noticed is after coming back, many people ask you what next. So then you are forced to think what is the next. So even though we can say, of course, 3-4 times, nothing, but you're forced to think, what could be the next thing, kind of thing. So that helps actually. It means we can plan something else also. We will be forced to think something. So more than that, I feel when I deal with especially younger generation, people in office or home, both actually, I am able to say at this age, I am more than 50. If I'm able to do these things at this age, why you can't do a 10 kilometer also? Or why you can't do this thing or that thing, something like that. So that questioning ability I got. So something like this. So at this age, I can do means you can do, and you cannot say that you go. Some people are doing something like that, right? So that is also helping me. Is my field. Then the third one Asha talked about. Earlier, I used to get panic when something happened to someone or close or nearby. But now I started thinking logically. If some immediate something, say during Corona time and all, right? The situations. So logical thinking at the stressful environment came back. So because all of us, I know many of us, many of you are doing a lot of great things, right? So when you do something rather than normal thing, then only these kind of things may trigger, is my feeling. So that is my experience.
I have a question is that, I mean, just kind of triggering off like what you guys shared. When you decided to do this, and after you decided, and when you go through this process, how much of this was like, it's me and I want to challenge myself and I want to push myself to see how much I can do? How much of it is inspired by the need to inspire people around you or feeling that you can be a role model for various people, for your family, for people at work, people in your community, everybody in this chat? I mean, and how does that kind of separate as you kind of think about what drove you to do this?
So for me, 70% is for me itself, selfish thing. Basically, I was talking earlier also. See, first of all, I want to keep myself healthy. For that, I have to sign up for something. So otherwise, I may be slipping some of the things. So in that way, I used to sign up some things, something or other kind of thing. Maybe small also. Say maybe something like Nandi Hills, which is very close to in Bangalore. People may know. That helps me. Of course, yeah, you have to do something, right? So this next Saturday, I'm going to this place. Means, yeah, we have to be be prepared for that. So that way, health is taken. Try to take care of that health part. So that more of me, almost 70%. But there is a community. I mean, what I meant is closer friends, right? At least for the EBC and all. That friend circle helped me a lot because they're push saying that, yeah, let us go kind of things. Otherwise, at least EBC, I may not have done if I don't have that kind of a friends, because somebody has to say that, yeah, we can do it, let us do it kind of thing. So for these extreme things, I feel that, yeah, you need a couple of close friends who are kind of same thought process kind of people. But there will be a lot of people who may be trying to say that your kids are not grown up. Why you want to try now? So why can't you try later? But later, I'm also getting aged. I cannot try later stages. I have to. If I want to try, I have to try now. So that is the way. Try to. My feeling is try to avoid those kind of negative things. And in fact, I didn't told my parents. So I told that
Yeah.
I'm going for some place near Himalayas just for a 4 5 days, some stay and come back kind of thing. So I never, because if I tell my parents, I know what will be
It's
the result.
true. It's true.
So I didn't told them fully. While coming back, only they understood that what is this gravity and what I have done. So then they, of course, they shouted and all these things. so because I want to avoid that negative things pulling me back from the from the mission we want to achieve. So that's
Renu, you want to go?
Yes, so for me, it was 100% selfishness, nothing else. I wanted to do, I want to push myself, do it. But then the funny thing is, surprising thing, like as opposed to what Ajit said, uh, I mean, I told my mother because for 10 days, like you're not available on phone, you don't get any signal on the way. So, I mean, they do not know what, or I don't know what is happening at home. But then my mother, like first time she agreed, second time also, like she was quite hesitant because she knew what happens in the first time. So then, but I actually learned like what love is from her reaction. Like when I told her I want to go again, initially she didn't say anything. After a while, she said, if that is what gives you happiness, then go. And that, I mean, but I knew how much it hurts her. But despite that, she said, if that is what gives you happiness, you just go. And that was an amazing lesson for me. Like there's no
You're
point in
blood.
holding back. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry, please continue.
No, nothing. That's all.
Okay. So for me, again, it was 100% selfish. I was just a lost soul, and you know, we all have been extremely busy, going to school, finding a job, settling up a family, and just suddenly when my kids became self-sufficient, I didn't have much to do, and my work was not giving me back what I, you know, was looking for. So that's how I got into all these things. And like Ajit said, I went from one thing to the next thing only because either because of my friends or the community that I'm in, or the circumstances like Corona did. Um, and what keeps me going is basically somebody will have this kida that go find the next exploration, and they will pick up all the people who will say yes to it, and they'll be like, let's do this. And you know and I've been in several of those ones where I say, I don't think I'll come for the trip, but I'll train with you, and you'll train with them, and then it's like sales scheme. You end up in it, and you come back with great memories, and then that's the reason why you go back again, and your friend group gets refined, and they become the pillars. So uh, for me it was solo initially, for sure, when I started, but now I thoroughly enjoy pretty much a lot of it, except the trip I thoroughly enjoy, but the preparation is scary, and the recuperation is very boring. But you got to go through all three phases if you want to repeat it again. So yeah, it's something wonderful. I think we all like changes, we all like challenges, and we all like something to look forward to. Um, because once you submit anything, or even you do anything, that doesn't give you the satisfaction. You got to keep moving. It's in the process.
In any field. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
this
the
is
nature
true.
of it. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the nature of it.
yeah.
Yeah, I have heard all of you, and I think everything what you get out of these trips is that made you, mentally resilient, or
Yes.
I think made you more stronger. But I'm sure we are not from like Adani, Ambani families, and we have been taking risks. For example, driving bike without helmet, or sometime doing nonsense thing in India. But what is the one special thing which you feel that, this risk was, I mean, it changed your thought process, right? Because I remember once we were hanging behind the bus and we went for 100 kilometer because there was no seat inside. And I was in 11th class. And now I feel what I have done, I'm thinking I'm the most stupid guy, right? So going to Everest Base Camp or, Hardungla, what is the one thing which you feel, it gives you that extreme pleasure and which you will take with you to your, Kabr or Samshan, it's your personal experience, right? It's your treasure, which nobody can take from you. So what is the one thing which you feel that another
Well,
part of this is like how your children, took it. Because if I tell these stories to my kids, they'll say, again, you started this like Hindi movies. When I was in school, I used to go on cycle on 10 kilometers. So all these cliches, don't tell me. There are thousands of people go to Everest Base Camp. So don't tell me this. So this is my children. But of course, how's your children? They took, how they felt nice, or they took it as my mom is great, or I'm sure, not all of you children, and maybe your partner. My wife will say, idiot, you are doing all these things, you will keep doing all these things. Yeah. So my family will not find it. I will get zero respect out of it. Yeah. I don't know why.
so Arun, they don't listen to me. That's why I'm talking to you. They're on it. But yeah, there are so the short answer is only talk to the people who want to hear. Doesn't matter if it's your bike story or your rock story.
That's so
If they're
smart.
asking you, and talk as long as like people who know me. I can't shut up once I start talking. So I only talk to people who can bear me, and it's a tall call.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, Narsab?
What's that?
No, I said I was asking Ajit his experience.
No, actually, from the kids side, the same experience. I don't know, respect has gone up or something. Nothing like that. It is usually. And I don't think that is the way they take is that is that gave you enjoyment. I don't feel that enjoyment. That's it. So I don't feel that anything they learning, nothing like that. I don't. So nothing.
At some point they will, I think, may not be today, but yeah, I'm sure there will come a time in their lives when they will realize the enormity and the difficulty of what you've done, and
I
what it
read some
is.
article. See, I don't know when we were in college, right? We I don't know other story, but many of us do not respect that much parents. So, so
No, but
because of that,
like
because of
Monali was
that,
saying, right? Go ahead, continue. Sorry.
because of that Ramayan movie, that Ramayan's, that's this one we used to call Pidaji, at least that respect we are given. So that way, but now we respect them, right? So because we went through those struggles in family and all, now we understood that how much they have gone through, and now we respect. So I'm thinking of maybe after 70 they may.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's true.
You're doing SIP, huh?
That's true.
Like in mutual funds, SIP, systematic investment plan. Yeah.
You have to invest in it, wait for the maturity date.
I like the word selfish because I think this is the most positive word.
Yeah.
And I think if you can't take care of yourself, your surroundings, ultimately you and nature is the most important thing. Rest everybody, children, whatever,
Yeah.
Yeah, you and the nature is like, so that I think must be the best experience I can imagine. You go on and touch almost being a dead man at Everest Base Camp, because you're challenging your limits.
And I don't I don't know, good or bad. My wife was accompanying me. So my wife was also there with me.
That I know because last time I heard you.
Yeah. So later, now I also felt it was a mistake. Actually, we should not have done that.
One parent. You want one parent left.
So
There's
Arun, you
actually,
had
balance
two-part
of power,
question,
we
right?
say.
You had a two-part question, right? My answer to that was actually
Yeah.
I love watching sunrises and sunsets from these spots. They give you a certain thing, and the pictures don't do justice when you take them. You being there, just yourself and the nature during sunrise or sunsets, uh, actually moves you. It changes you. It gives you a certain stillness. And I never realized this until I saw that very first time. I did not know why people used to post all these sunrises and sunsets. Now I know. There is something words cannot explain it. And that's what wants me to go back and do it
Yeah,
again.
yeah, Asha, just, I so understand what you said, because I remember that in one of my trips in Sikkim, where I was at a 15,000 feet height, in the eastern Himalayas. And I remember that evening sunset. I mean, I can never forget that in my life. I don't even have a picture. In fact, I didn't even take a picture. But that sunset is something I'll never forget in my life. A sunset at 15,000 feet in East Himalayas. It's like just too precious. It's just stayed with you, that memory. So I totally get you there, actually, how it must
Yeah.
be. Ethereal.
One thing my younger daughter used to say, actually, if you go to Everest, from EBC to Everest, means not the exact way, means that just take a straight line. It is only around 3.5 kilometers, I think, actually, to the peak. So my daughter used to ask, why you can't climb 3.5 kilometers?
Mm-hmm.
Why you came back after EBC? So that is a seriousness, I would say.
He has a point,
No, but you got to
actually.
think out of the
Yeah.
box.
Yeah, like you mentioned, sunrise. So, like my father always tells me, you get up in the morning and witness sunrise and then sleep. People, those who miss sunrise, so they will have some problem with the brain. So I'm thankful till, maybe my wife say I have a problem, but I think I have a better brain still. But if we have sunlight early in the morning, it is always good.
There's science behind it too. I mean, it changes a lot of your hormonal balances. Having sun in your eyes, it changes your brain chemistry, it changes your body chemistry. They're studying it, and it's like it's real. It's a real effect. It's not like you're imagining it. It's the Surya Namaskar came out of like a lot of people kind of really kind of studying it's ancient wisdom, but it's now modern wisdom as well. So I mean, I completely agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is really, you need. I cannot say what I wanted to say because this is recorded, but this is amazing. You have that thing what we don't have, or we have, but we don't want to apply. So I hope you can understand.
It is like this. So we put it here. I don't know, you might have put it in somewhere else. We want to hear from you. So it is not something great, I feel. So because some other people put effort in something else, right? So in that way, see, whomever I know, whatever Monali is doing now, I'm not even able to think of. So so like that, right? So it is different things all of us are doing, but unique in
No, it's inspiring. It is inspiring. It's different. It gives another perspective. So it's useful.
Yeah. Thank you.
We also used to do a lot of adventure in college. We used to cheat, We used to take, but that is not inspiring. Yeah, it is very difficult, even difficult than what you have done. But it is not inspiring.
You must get Wahid. You must get Wahid to get you to do a CPC on that. Let me see if you are able to do that. Take that as your challenge.
Not on recorded patients.
He is told he was caught by police going from.
This was recorded on the internet that me and Gagan walking nude, And this Kerala police are, focusing lamps on our ashes. This is on the. So
You had told
now
about
that
this.
guy is in where our director technical Gagan. So if his company will come to know, then probably they will make him, emotional intelligence coach. Like he can go without clothes. So imagine, he's Mahanadmi.
You three are really inspiring, no? There's just nothing else to. I think the word is inspiring and motivating. And thanks for sharing your stories with us today.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you
Hey,
for giving us the
Santosh, you want to do a
opportunity.
closing?
I have one question. I mean, as you think to the future, is this kind of like some of you said like you're going to repeat, you want to do it again. Others are thinking about, do you want to do something even more extreme, like climb the rest of 3.7 kilometers? I mean, like whatever it is. Where do you see this kind of, have you reached your limit and you want to maintain it? Or is this, you see that there is something beyond this that you think it's possible?
From my perspective, I always think beyond is possible.
Yeah.
For example, in fact, I was trying for Camp 1 in Everest. Of course, it is a lot of money involved, training also involved. You have to take a break. So, but unfortunately, what happened was one of our military guys, his closest, he's also in military. He died in Camp 1. So that pushed us back, actually. So he's a military guy, so he's obviously so fit and he gone through extreme trainings and all. But you cannot predict. See, always there is a say in Asha knows Asha, both of them Renu knows very well. Mountains decide whether you want to reach there or not. So there is a way we say. So we don't know if possible or not, but always we want to try the next level. I also have something crazy in my mind. I want to drive from Delhi to London. So that also I'm trying.
I mean, I don't know.
You need
I don't set
drivers, so
out.
let me know. When you like to sleep, I'll be driving. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't set out with a wish list. It's somebody come and say, let's do this, and then somehow it happens. It's like a college trip. It happens. And honestly, yes, go ahead. Please.
Go ahead.
I didn't have much to add.
No, you can add. No, I had a Tibetan cycling trip and solo EBZ in plan, but then somewhere in between, it has changed to being mental challenges rather than physical.
Yeah.
So I have other plans.
Hey, yeah, I think if there are no more questions, we'll close it. Thanks.
I had one question. I mean, I don't know whether I should ask or not. There's that movie Unchai, right? Have you seen it?
Yes.
Where Bachchan, I mean, it's the 80-year-olds going on an EBC trek.
Yeah.
How much of it?
Say that again. What was the question?
Is it even possible for somebody? I mean, like JK started off like that. It's not that you get up one day and then suddenly decide that you're going to go to EBC.
So
have you seen people like that?
I would say it depends who you are. Age is not the deciding factor.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Along with us, there was a person with the age of 72. So he could.
I climbed with a person. Think how mentally tough he might be. He is climbing Everest. His previous attempt, he made it. His wife did not make it. She lost her life on the way. And this time, after 2.5 to 3 years, he's climbing again because for her. And he is, she was 69 when she passed away, and they said, and he said he was 6 years difference. So he's 75.
Oof.
And he did not look particularly fit, but he was not unhealthy. But he was very determined. He had that Sant kind of quality to him. Quiet, calm, strong. So I don't think age has anything to do. It's a 52-year-old me and a 52-year-old another person is completely different through your journey of life.
Shweta, you can go by 75, no problem. You know?
Okay.
So you are our Lady Amitabh Bachchan, or and you also have Sant-like qualities, you know.
No, Renu has been calling me for this winter trek of hers, and I have been avoiding it all through.
Okay. If you guys are doing trips and you want to pull anybody in this channel forward, please share it. I'm sure you're inspired. I mean, not just it doesn't have to be just inspiration. You can also pull us along too.
That is a challenge.
Bijoy, getting people to
Bijoy, you and me will come and drop them to airport, and we will pick them. Yeah,
Who is interested
this
in
is what we
trekking?
will do.
I want to attempt Aconcagua.
He can be like you have a buddies, na? Mondus. He'll stay there, we'll make tea for you, something like that. Or maybe a little peg. Yeah?
Oh, that's another thing I had to give up on the mountains.
No drinking.
Yeah, it definitely hinders. It cramps up your muscles. It definitely hinders. So you can only imagine how our return parties will be. And then to get back on the horse is even harder.
Yeah.
All right. Let's close it. Let's summarize our sum up this interesting conversation. Pretty insightful in many ways, right? I mean, many of us aspire to do things that give us that life learning, and I think all three of them have shared things from their journey. It's about the mindset, I guess. That's clearly coming out. It is about having that risk appetite, having that goal to do something which kind of gives that sense of satisfaction. For most of you, it seemed like an outlet of sorts. But the key thing is obviously that you're all achievers. You've had your lessons through this journey, which you've been kind enough to share with all of us. I'm sure this is gonna people will listen to the recording as well, and this will actually be inspiring many of us to step out and do something. At least that the 5K trek, or maybe we should think about starting a virtual challenge for the batch to celebrate this. A 5K a day challenge. You can run, you can swim, you can bike, you can walk. Probably do something like this to keep people moving. One hack: when you are doing that stair climb, try to do alternate steps. Your hamstrings will power much better. Something for all of us to think about. On that note, I think we can close today's call. Thanks again, everyone.
Thank you
For jumping onto this.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you.